The information found in this video and related presentation is provided by the Retirement Research Foundation and is for educational and informational purposes only. Nothing in this video should be considered to be tax or investment advice. Welcome. Thanks for joining me here at the Retirement Research Foundation. I'm Daniel Rondberg, and with me is Ben Skinner from Taylor Skinner Law. Ben, so glad to have you here today. Let's talk about step up in basis for a second, because a lot of assets get a step up in basis. You know, your home value can get a step up in basis, but there's half step ups and there's full step ups.
That's right.
That was something new that I learned in some time I spent with you. How do you get the full step up? When do you get the half step up?
You can get, what we do is stay away from the situations where you can get the half step up. We
right, obviously you want to avoid that if you can.
That's why one of the reasons why we urge people to use the beneficiary deed so much, because you do when the last person passes away that's the owner of that house, and the house goes to wherever it's been designated to go under the beneficiary deed, those individuals receive the full step up in basis in that situation.
With the beneficiary
With
deed.
the beneficiary deed.
So you can get the full step. Now let's back up, because some people may not even know what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
So if you have a house worth $100,000 that you paid for it, and it's grown to $300,000, there's going to be a gain that's supposed to be recorded as a taxable gain.
That's right.
You pass away, you have the beneficiary deed. The IRS is going to pretend like the beneficiary paid $300 for
That's
it.
exactly
Ergo,
right.
the step up in the basis being what you paid for it, step up to the basis where what it's valued, no capital gains tax.
That's right.
And so you got to have either the beneficiary deed, whatever it is in your state. Here in Arizona, it's the beneficiary, or you have to have the trust designation.
That's right. If it's
and that's how you get the full step up.
Yes, exactly.
Otherwise, spouse going to spouse, half step up?
Half step up in that situation. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So you got two spouses. Obviously, one passes, terrible time, but remaining spouse, let's call it her, doesn't want to leave the house. What does she do to record a step up? Like, how does she know? Do they get an appraisal around the time the spouse passes?
Yeah, and especially if they have that AB trust set up we talked about before, then that's part of the valuation of the estate that you would do. But yeah, you can get an appraisal done. Sometimes people want to save a little money, they'll get a broker price opinion. They can pay a little less for that through a realtor. But generally, an appraisal is looked upon as the gold standard for that.
But I don't think a lot of people know that. You have two spouses, you think it's joint tenants, you think they both get it, but the other spouse is only going to get a half step up potentially.
Yeah, but it doesn't become much of a burden on them unless they sell.
Okay.
If they're planning to stay in the home, then they never really are affected by it. Yeah. Then their heirs get the full step up. And so it's not really.
But if they need to downsize and then go to a care home, that could be a tax burden.
It could have a real issue. But there's some other exemptions that apply. You know, if it's a primary residence, you've lived there for 2 of the last 5 years, you may not have a capital gain anyway. So.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
2 of the last 5 years. A lot of it. That's what's interesting. And I had a mortgage broker on the show, and it's like mortgage qualifications and tax. It's like they blend over, and that happens in so many disciplines in the financial community. Same with taxes and estate planning. There's so many different exemptions and things. That's why you really have to work with a qualified professional who understands all these and kind of has some working knowledge of the tax law. You know, not that they give tax advice, but they have to be aware of these things if they're recommending you do certain.
That's right.
I mean, you know, so you really need a qualified professional in both areas.